What's going on, SOFTWASH TV? Kyle here. Today I want to talk about downstream injectors, so let's dive right into it. Yesterday I made probably a video that was too long, and the whole gist of it was, is downstreaming soft washing? And yes, it is. If you want to debate that, go watch that video and I kind of talk about my opinion. But one of my comments on that video was someone asking about what type of injector to use. So instead of writing a really lengthy thing, I want to talk about injectors today. What type of injectors do I have on the truck and in the shop, and what do I recommend? You know, what are the price points and stuff like that. So let's talk about it. I have plenty of videos about downstreaming, but if you don't know what it is, just real quick, downstreaming is using a downstream injector downstream of your pressure washing pump. So your pressure washing pump on your pressure washer creates high pressure, and downstream of the pump, that way you don't put chemical through your pump, you have an injector, and with the Venturi effect, it sucks chemical from your chemical tank and puts it out the hose. That way you could spray sodium hypochlorite on the house. Okay, I have my downstream injectors right here at the hose reels. And I know someone's gonna ask, so whenever it comes to the quick connects, you have a female quick connect and a male quick connect. The plug, the direction of the water is going this way. I always go plug going out. You know what I'm saying? That way for my whole system, that way at the very end, I'm not blowing O-rings out of the female quick connect or anything like that. So I go female quick connect to male plug, because you're gonna have quick connects on either side of your injector. I'm going to be swapping this injector out today because it's due for a replacement. But just so you know, on the inside of these injectors, there's a little spring and a ceramic ball. Whenever your system's pressurized, that spring and ball moves and allows for fluid to move through your injector. There's also different orifice sizes whenever it comes to injectors. We're going to go in the shop. I'll show you some different injectors. Your boy's smoked, y'all. It's been a long wash day. All right, we got some different injectors here. Like I said, I'm gonna make this video quick today. There's different brands of injectors, but there's three main sizes basically for the industry. Orifice sizes for your injectors: 2.3, 2.1, and 1.8. A lot of people ask, Kyle, what type of injector, what size should I be using? The two main pressure washing sizes in the industry are like a 5.5 gallon a minute machine and 8 gallon a minute machine. For both of those machines, I recommend a 2.1 orifice. All right, 2.3 is going to give you a weaker mix. A lot of people will say, well, 2.1, that's just for up to 5 gallons a minute. Absolutely not. All day long, you can run 8 gallon a minute machine. Anything from 4 to 8 gallon a minute, 4 to 10 gallon a minute, you can run a 2.1 injector, all right? It's going to yield you a hotter mix than a 2.3 injector, all right? What's up, everybody? Before we continue, just a friendly reminder, make sure you check out SOFTWASH TV Pro, the exterior cleaning industry's answer to the need for quality pressure washing and soft washing training. Not only will you learn about safety, but we will teach you how to wash. Learn from a pro the ins and outs of house washing, concrete washing, and low-pressure roof cleaning. We teach wash techniques and preventative measures for property protection. SOFTWASH TV Pro will educate you about industry equipment and all of the chemicals used during daily operations. Learn marketing strategies from a successful pressure washing company and take advantage of numerous resources that will help you start and grow a pressure washing company. Thanks for watching. Now back to the video. For most day in and day out washing, I use a 2.1 injector. Complete transparency, I do have 1.8 injectors on the truck. If it's cold weather, I'll probably break one out because sodium hypochlorite doesn't work as good in cold weather, so I'll want a hotter mix. I don't recommend using a 1.8 injector in the spring and summertime whenever it's 100 degrees outside, because you're going to be burning up some plants. Across the board, you know, it's safe to say if you're using a 2.1 injector, depending on what strength bleach you have, how much high pressure hose you have, and a couple other variables, what size gallon per minute machine you have, you're going to be, you know, right under 1% or at 1% with a 2.1 injector. If you have a 1.8 injector, a lot of times you could be pulling upwards of 1.25 to 1.5%, and sometimes that's just too hot. You have to end up cutting your bleach. That way you don't have a super hot mix going on the house or going on plants. All right, guys, now that you know what size injector I use, let's talk about a couple different makes or brands of injectors. The most popular you're going to see if you go to like equipment shops and stuff like that, or you buy a machine, it's going to come with an injector. Most of the time, it's a General Pump, a GP injector. They work good, guys, especially for the price, but they do wear out pretty quickly. You know how I talked about there's a spring and a ceramic ball? You tend to have issues fairly quickly with general pump injectors. So not trying to knock them, but I'm trying to set you guys up for success and be very transparent. I go through general pump injectors probably like every couple weeks, in all seriousness, every couple weeks. So that's probably what's on the truck right now is general pump injector because they're so cheap. I think they're around 20 bucks, but there are better options in my opinion. All right, so I said that I use a lot of GP injectors because they are cheap, but if you want to get a more quality injector, my favorite type is by EnviroSpec. Let me try to get it to focus for you guys. This is the Super Sud Sucker, okay? If you go to the EnviroSpec website, I don't get paid by them or any of these companies. I'm not affiliated with them. But if you go to EnviroSpec, go to their website. The brass one, they are more pricey. The brass one's around 90 bucks, I believe. And the stainless version is probably 110 bucks. But I like these for two reasons. One, they last longer than any injector on the market, in my opinion. These are the best, most reliable injectors on the market, the Super Sud Sucker. They also have a phenomenal draw rate. So these work really good across the board. This is my favorite right here. So well worth the money. Let me show you a different type of injector. This is another EnviroSpec injector. It's not a Super Sud Sucker, but this one's an adjustable injector. Sometimes you'll see these guys if you're just getting into the industry. Maybe you're at, what's that place? Northern Tool. Yeah, Northern Tool sells, I believe they sell a GP injector with one of these adjustable pieces on it that allows you to adjust your strength that you're pulling. Guys, if you're going that route and you want to adjust your strength, and that's totally cool, I do it a lot, you're better off just getting a regular injector and in line with your chemical tank, somewhere grab yourself a 1/2-inch chlorine metering valve. I believe it's Pentair makes them, or Rainbow, and they're super cheap. They're probably like 30 bucks, but you could throw some 1/2-inch NPT thread by 1/4-inch barbs on each end of that metering valve, and in line with your injector, you could meter your strength. So just a pro tip for you. So we talked about this one. Super Sud Sucker is my favorite. Your standard injectors. This is a check valve injector right here. These have been popular probably 3 years. All right, I think they came out 3 to 4 years ago. Basically, you have an injector, and like we talked about, these injectors have a spring and a ceramic ball inside. And one of the main issues that happens is when they start getting corroded, because we are spraying a corrosive chemical, they get stuck and they wear out. To circumvent that issue, these check valve injectors, basically you remove the spring and the ball and you can put one of these assemblies on. You have a thread adapter right here because these are a unique thread. Basically, you have this thread adapter, a stainless check valve. Most of these assemblies that are sold come with a stainless barb. This one's brass, but basically it removes that ball and spring and you have more flow, less restriction. Okay, so this does allow for a little bit more draw. I think they're a little overhyped because I've done some draw tests and it just draws a hair more. So I really don't use these, guys. I went through a few of them, but the check valves eventually failed. For the money, me personally, I can't justify buying these things because the EnviroSpec injectors are 90 bucks and they work just fine. These assemblies right here that people sell are probably 100 to 120, 130 bucks, and I just think that they're not worth it. The EnviroSpec injectors, the way they are very reliable. Just my opinion. So let's talk in the field issues that people have with downstream injectors. The most prominent issues that people have, because I had a call the other day from a subscriber who's just getting into the game, and they're so simple of issues that people just don't know what they don't know. So let's talk about it. When you look at your downstream injector, they should have arrows. That's pointing the direction that the flow should go. So on this right here, our flow is going this way to the hose reel. That's where you want your arrows going. If it's backwards, your downstream injector is not going to work as designed. Right here, I have a drop stick, guys. I have my 1/4-inch inner diameter hose, and I just have some PVC. That way it keeps it stuck to the bottom of the tank. Definitely want to cut your hose. That way it don't just get stuck and it's hard to get suction on it. But this right here, a lot of people will put strainers on the end of it. That's going to make your injector struggle, especially if you're running a 2.3 injector. So just remove those little strainers that people put on the end of this hose right here. You don't need it. But be careful, because if you're just running a hose open, you know what I'm saying, you could suck up debris And the first place it's going to get stuck is inside of your injector. So you could remove your barb and remove any debris, and that should free up any obstructions, and then you'll have flow where you're pulling soap again. That's problem number 2 I see. The most common issue is, like I said, we're spraying corrosives. So this ball and spring gets stuck sometimes. So make sure you have some dental picks on your truck, or even just a small Allen key, something that could fit inside this orifice, and you could move that spring and free it up, because if it gets stuck, you won't be drawing soap. This is the most common issue that people have with downstream injectors. So this tool right here could save the day if you're on the job site. Another issue that people have with downstreaming, they do that a lot. Instead of just replacing the injector, I need to replace this one. People, you know, they're lazy. They don't want to do the work, even though it's on quick connects. It's pretty simple. Maybe they just don't have a backup. They'll just, every time they're out washing, they'll free this up instead of replacing the injector. Eventually, you take this hose on and off enough times, it's going to get really loose, okay? And then you're going to be sucking air. Some people have complained or called me and they're like, I used to draw soap, you know, fine, but now I'm not drawing as much. That's the issue. If it gets to that point, just put a new hose on, or just put a hose clamp on there. That way you ensure that you're not taking on air right there. That's the 4th problem. Another stupid problem I've seen is somebody's quick connects were leaking, and somebody in a Facebook group was freaking out. They're like, why's my equipment leaking? It's just an O-ring, guys. So like I said, dental picks, make sure you have a little curved dental pick on the truck. That way you can replace O-rings in quick connects. That's simple, guys. That's, every pressure washer knows that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all just took the Downstream Injector 101 crash course. I hope this video helps. If you guys gain some value from it, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have you visit this channel frequently and watch these videos. I put them out as often as I can. Your boy's about to go out here. I'm hopping in the truck and I'm putting out yard signs the rest of the evening. Keep your foot on the gas. I'm booked out 3 weeks. Crazy busy right now. I'm gonna crush 500 homes easy this year. My goal is 600 projects, but you cannot do that without good lead flow. So make sure you're keeping your foot on the gas. Over the years, trend analysis has showed me August does slow down, so you got to keep your foot on the gas even if you're busy. So Facebook ads, Google ads, print marketing strategies, do whatever you need to do to keep those calls coming in, those leads coming in. So I put all of my print marketing strategies on SOFTWASH TV Pro. I also have other resources that will help get you guys leads. If you guys want to get more jobs, check it out. It's the best bang for the buck in the industry. $49 for training and resources for your company. You can cancel anytime. It's $49 a month. Cancel anytime. So keep it as long as y'all want to have it. You guys have a great day. Take it easy. Peace.